middle of the night here. Is it possible just to have maybe one of these lights on the stage and not all of them? Because they're bright. And we still have the spaceship going. It automatically starts. That's not what the airplane to go to Golok Vrindavan sounds like, you know. Or a blender. Maybe it sounds like a blender, like we're all in a blender. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. I thought it was going to be blended up there into a dosa batter. Is it possible to, let's see what the picture looks like. Okay, it's pretty good. All right, I just have super bright lights in my eyes. Hare Krishna. Thank you for all the tech crew. So we're going to be doing a little meditation on how Krishna appears in this world, since this is Janmashtami, when we're celebrating the appearance of Krishna in this world. Is everybody ready? Yes? All right. Is everybody still awake? Okay, excellent. All right. So Krishna eternally exists in the spiritual world. Actually, it says that Krishna doesn't take one step outside Vrindavan. So there's innumerable Vaikuntha planets. And of course, Krishna also has his Vrindavan in the spiritual world. But in one little corner, there's the whole material universe. Right? Here we have the material universe right here. And that's where we rebellious souls, we come to this material world. And in this material world, the Lord first manifests the great elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, out of the pradhan. The pradhan is like the elements that are not differentiated. The way I think about it in modern scientific terms, it's like if you just had a bunch of protons, neutrons, and electrons, you didn't even have atoms. And then the Lord actually, by his glance, he awakens the material energy and creates the different material elements. And he then breathes out innumerable universes. And the Lord is lying in his yoga nidra, his mystic slumber, in the middle of these innumerable universes. And then he enters into a universe as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and from his navel there comes a lotus flower. Actually, you know what? I want to stop, and I want to rearrange the stage so that I'm closer to the screen. Can we do that? Let's do that. Otherwise, people are trying to look in two directions at once. So let's do it. Just, yeah, that would be perfect. Can we do that? Yeah, there you go. That's better, yeah? Yeah, much better. All right. Sorry it took me a minute to figure that out. Okay. And now I don't have the lights right in my eyes as much, too, so that's even a little better. So from the Lord's navel there comes a lotus flower. And on the lotus flower is Brahma. Can you see Brahma on the top of the lotus flower there? Right here? Right? And then Brahma, he's wondering what to do. He hears this word tapa. Need to do some austerities. And then he's able, from the stem of the lotus flower, by the directions of the Lord to manifest all the planets. By the way, you can all take your chairs and tilt them a little bit too. Why don't we all do that? Okay? Everybody, 1, 2, 3, tilt your chairs. Move your chairs to the, so you're, otherwise you all have to do this. Can you do that? Can you move your chairs? Some of you can do that. Some of you it's too difficult. Okay. And here we have the material and spiritual worlds. Srila Prabhupada had something like this on the cover of his original Bhagavatam. So here you see the material world and all the spiritual world. So in the material world, there's innumerable universes. And in one of the smallest universes, some of the universes have Lord Brahma's with 10 million heads, because there's 10 million directions. So our universe has a Lord Brahma with 4 heads, because there's only 4 directions. So we're a very small universe. And in this small universe, there's our planet Earth. So one time, on this planet Earth, about 5,000 years ago, those who were supposed to lead the world to peace and prosperity and spiritual realization were instead demoniac. So the leaders of the world, the governmental leaders, were demoniac. Do we have this problem now also in 2025? Do we have many demoniac leaders in the world? All of them. Well, I don't know if all of them. That would be a little unfair. Hopefully there's somebody in politics who's not a demon somewhere in the world. Srila Prabhupada wanted our devotees to take positions of power in all the spheres of the world. So I hope there's some pious people in the world in leadership's position. But there's certainly many people, many of our mayors and governors and prime ministers and presidents and lawmakers, they're actually demoniac. When you have this kind of a situation, it's a great burden on the earth. And the earth is actually the wife of the Lord, Bhumi Devi. And she became very distressed when the world leaders were evil. So whenever there's a problem that we can't solve, we go to a higher authority. Am I correct? Yes, you have a problem you can't solve yourself, you go to someone with more power, more authority than you. So Bhumi Devi took the form of a cow. The demigods can take various forms. And she went to go see Lord Brahma. And she said, "My dear Lord Brahma, I don't know what to do. I'm supposed to be giving prosperity, I'm supposed to be giving opulence to the people of the earth to use in the service of the Lord, and instead the world is being ruled by evil persons. Please help me." And Lord Brahma remembered
Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata abhutyanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamaham.
that the Lord says whenever there's a decline in religious practice, whenever dharma becomes adharma, I manifest.
Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Yada yada hi dharmasya
Everyone. Yada yada hi dharmasya
glanir bhavati bharata
Glanir bhavati bharata
abhyutanam adharmasya
abhyutanam adharmasya
tadatmanam srijamyaham.
tadatmanam srijamyaham.
So Lord Brahma went with the demigods to Svetadweep, the Vaikuntha planet within this universe, and they sat down on the shore of the ocean of milk, and they meditated on the Lord to ask him to please solve the situation. In this meditation, they chanted the Purusha Shukta.
Om Sahasrashirha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapad Sabhuvim Vishwato Vritva atyadishtadashangulam.
The Supreme Lord in the form of the universe has 1,000 heads, 1,000 eyes, and 1,000 feet, for he contains all the living entities. Having pervaded the universe completely to give it existence, being independent, he expended himself beyond it by 10 fingers.
Purusha evedagam sarvam yadbhutam yachabhavyam utamritattvasya shanaha yadannena tirohati.
The universes, past, present, and future, are but manifestations of the Supreme Lord, who expands himself as the Purusha. He is the Lord of immortality, but has manifest himself as the Purusha in the universe so that the jivas may enjoy material fruits.
Yetavanasya mahima atodhyayadischa purushaha padosya vishwabhutani tripadasya divi.
The past, present, and future universes are manifestations of the Lord's powers, but the Lord himself is much greater. The material creation is but 1/4 portion, and the eternal nature in the spiritual sky exists in 3/4 portions. Now that's not a geographical statement. That doesn't mean that the material world is like 1/4 piece of a pie. This statement of the Purusha Shukta refers to energies. So only 1/4 of the Lord's energies manifest the material universe, and 3/4 of the Lord's energies manifest the spiritual nature.
Tripadurdha udait purushaha padosyeha bhavat punaha tato vishwam vyakramate sasananajane abhi.
The 3/4 portion of the Lord transcended the material portion. The Lord in the 1/4 portion manifested the universe again, as he had done repeatedly before. The Lord of the 1/4 portion began the work of creation by going all around, taking the form of all animate and inanimate objects.
Tasmāt virāda jājata virājo adhipurushaha sajāto atyarityata paschāt bhumimatho puraha.
From that Lord, the Virat or universe was born, and in that the Virata Purusha, Paramatma of the universe, was born. Having appeared, the Virat Purusha grew and produced the earth and the bodies of all jivas.
Brahmanosya mukhamāsīt bāhurājanyah kritaha guru tadasya yadvaishyaha padvyagam shudro ajayata.
From the Lord's face came the Brahmanas, from his arms the Kshatriyas, from the thighs of the Virat Purusha came the Vaishyas, and from the feet the Shudras were born. There's such a nice statement in the Bhagavatam in 3.6.33, I believe, where it says that the Shudras, being situated at the Lord's feet, have a mentality of service, and therefore they have the protection of the lotus feet of the Lord. And Prabhupada says there that a Brahmana without a service mentality is not as elevated as a Shudra who has this mood of service. Everyone has something valuable to do in the universe. We're all on the body of the Lord. And one is really not higher or more important than the other. In fact, when we meditate on the Lord, we are supposed to first meditate on the Lord's feet.
Chandrama manaso jataha chaksho suryo ajayata mukharindraschagnischa pranat bhayurajayata.
The moon was born from his mind, the sun was born from his 2 eyes, from his mouth was born Indra and Agni, and from his breath Vayu was born. So the demigods are chanting this Purusha Shukta, and they're meditating, and they're asking the Lord, please help. Do they hear anything? Do they see anything? Does this sometimes happen to you? Do you have some problem and you go to the Lord and you're chanting slokas and you're praying and you're asking the Lord, please show me, and you just get nothing? So what are they going to do? But Lord Rama remembers that Krishna promises
परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे.
That the Lord wants to deliver these sadhus. And vinashaya, he wants to destroy the duskritina, those who use their kriti, those who use their merit for bad purposes. He's going to destroy them and to establish dharma. He's going to advent himself millennium after millennium.
Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya sadhunam
Everyone.
Paritranaya sadhunam
vinashaya cha duskritam
vinashaya ch duskritam
dharma samstapanartaya
dharma samstapanartaya
sambhavami yuge yuge.
sambhavami yuge yuge.
So the Lord spoke to Brahma in the heart of Brahma and told him, I am going to manifest on the earth to deal with this problem. But you first come as my elders to prepare the way. Now I'd like you all to think very carefully. So the world's overburdened by demons. The Lord tells the demigods that he's going to come. But first he wants his elders to come. So Vasudeva has to appear and be old enough to get married. Let's say he was 25. Let's just say. That's already 25, 26 years, correct? Right? And then Krishna's the 8th child, so then you have to add another 8 years. So now we're at what? He's born? No. He goes to Vrindavan, and how long does it take for him to go back to Mathura? 11 or 16, different acharyas say different things. Let's say 11, so that's 44 years. So 44 years elapses between the time Lord Vishnu says, you go to the earth and prepare the way for me, and the time that Kamsa is actually killed. So this kind of thing also happens in our life, correct? Krishna always takes care of us, but in his own time and in his own way. It's not that just because we go to him that instantly everything's, there's going to be gold on the road and everything, right? But Krishna will always, we see in time how things manifest, that Krishna is always there. Am I correct? Yes? But sometimes when you're right there in the time, it's hard to see that. So Vasudeva and Devaki appear on earth to pave the way for the Lord, and they get married. And then Kamsa, as Devaki's cousin brother, he's driving the chariot, taking Devaki to her new home, and everything seems very happy. Woo! There's a voice from the sky that says, Kamsa, you fool! You are driving the chariot of your sister and brother-in-law, but you do not know that the 8th child will kill you. Now, demons don't respond very favorably to being called idiots publicly. They don't even respond very well to being called idiots privately. What to speak of publicly, of a sky voice in front of everyone. And so Kamsa immediately takes out his sword and he's ready to kill Devaki. One way we can tell whether or not we're making spiritual advancement is how we respond to being insulted or embarrassed or threatened. It's very easy to think that we're a very spiritual person if everyone is treating us with respect. Am I correct? Yes? How do you know that somebody is really controlled by false ego? What happens if they're insulted, or they feel threatened, or they're not so respected? Then immediately all the ego explodes. Yes? So this is a major test. And Krishna does this to us to show us, oh, this is something you still need to take care of. Just like teachers give their students a test, of course, teachers have to give the students a test for the teachers to know where the students are. Krishna already knows where we are. But the test also shows the students where they are. By taking a test, you're able to see, oh, this is something I need to work on more. This is something I already understand. So Krishna puts us in various situations so we can see ourselves clearly. But we find consistently in the Shastra and in our daily life that those who are demoniac don't like being corrected and don't like being told that they're foolish. So Vasudeva is trying to save Devaki's life. And so he's trying to reason with Kamsa. He says, you know, my dear Kamsa, everybody has to die. This is not like some new information. Everyone has to die. And he says, well, actually, the soul doesn't die. Na jayate miyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavitava nabhuyaha ajo nitya sasvatoyam prano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. You don't die. Identifying with these bodies is an illusion. And Kamsa's not impressed by this philosophy. By the way, when we feel very threatened or insulted or we're afraid, we're not usually very impressed by philosophy. Have you noticed that? Yes? Or whenever anyone's very upset about something, philosophy doesn't, we don't really hear it. One can explain this even biochemically. That when our brain interprets that we're being threatened, then it activates what's called the sympathetic nervous system. Some of you have heard of this, which floods our body with like cortisol and adrenaline and gets us ready to fight or run away or hide or something. And when that happens, then our digestion is put on pause, our immune system is put on pause, and our higher order thinking skills are put on pause. Because if you're being chased by a pack of dogs, you don't want to be calculating, calculus equations. So our ability to think philosophically is very hampered when we're feeling stressed or when we're feeling threatened in some way. And that's the reason why when a person is in that kind of state, speaking philosophically to them is not usually very effective. Srila Prabhupada makes a very interesting statement in Krishna book. He says, a saintly person can tolerate all kinds of miserable conditions of life. A learned man can discharge his duties without awaiting favorable circumstances. A heinous person like Kamsa can act in any sinful way, and a devotee can sacrifice everything to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A very, very significant statement by Srila Prabhupada. So someone who's evil, a heinous person, they can do anything. Even he's ready to kill his cousin's sister on her wedding day publicly, just because at some time in the future, one of her children will be his death. And Vasudev's just not able to reason with Kamsa at all. So he decides that, all right, let me just make a deal with him, and we'll worry about the future in the future. So he said, look, Devaki's not the problem, it's her children. And maybe she won't even have kids. Some people don't have children. And maybe she just won't have children. And the threat is from the 8th child. You know that, Kamsa, I'll tell you what, I'll bring you all of our children. And you can do with them whatever you want. But don't kill Devaki. So that was a pretty heavy-duty thing for Vasudeva to promise, correct? Yes? But he thought, all right, my prime emergency is to save the life of my bride. That's my prime emergency. And he was also thinking, if my 8th child is going to kill Kamsa, if that's destiny, then that's going to happen. And so no matter what I do, that's going to happen. So he felt, let me just deal with this emergency. Sometimes there's normal dharma that we follow, and then there's emergency dharma. By the way, emergencies should happen very rarely in our life. If you're always under an emergency, there's something wrong with how you're managing your life. Emergencies should be rare and temporary. Now, Kamsa was thinking, Vasudeva is a very honest man. It's interesting that even evil people have some sense that saintly people are honest. So I said, Vasudeva is a very honest man. I can trust him. And he said, okay, you can go. So when their first child was born, Vasudeva did indeed take him to Kamsa. And Kamsa, although he had trusted Vasudeva, he was still surprised. He thought, Vasudeva must know that I'm likely to kill this child, and still to honor his promise, he brings it to me. Of course, Vasudeva doesn't actually honor his promise perfectly, does he? He does not bring Kamsa his actual 8th child. Srila Prabhupada notes this difference between Vasudeva and Dasarath. That Vasudeva, when it came to protecting Krishna, and of course Krishna ordered him to go to Gokula, he broke his promise to Kamsa, whereas Dasarath kept his promise to Kaikeyi. So anyway, Vasudeva brings this child, and Kamsa says, he was so impressed with Vasudeva that he said, look, it's the 8th child, it's not the first child. I'm not in danger from this child. Just go home. Of course, when Vasudeva was going home with the child, he was a little hesitant. He was thinking, I can't really trust this man. Saintly persons are trustworthy and evil persons are not. Then Narada comes and kind of stirs up trouble. Many years ago, I was visiting one temple. I hadn't been there before, and the temple commander was telling me his whole CV. I have no idea why. And then he looked at me and he said, and so, what department are you in? And I said, the troublemaking department. They should introduce me like that, right? Woo! So Narada Muni comes and says, oh, by the way, Kamsa, you should know that Lord Vishnu has actually ordered the Devas to take birth in the Vrishni dynasty. And so actually any of these children of the Vrishni dynasty could be a threat to you, not just the 8th child. And he tells Kamsa something about his previous life. He said, in your previous life, you were Kalanimi, and you were killed by Vishnu. Now, the backstory here, this was the story of the churning of the milk ocean. You're all familiar with this story? If you ever go to the airport in Bangkok, in Thailand, I've never actually been in Thailand, but I've been in the airport. That doesn't count, right, as being in the country, just being in the airport? No. Although you'll see also sculptures like this in Bali. But in the Bangkok airport, and you see in Bali, there's many sculptures of this churning of the milk ocean. So of course that's a long story, but there's this perpetual battle going on, right, between the demons and the demigods in the universe. Like it stops for a while and then it restarts and then it stops for a while. We have places like that on this planet, right? Where this these places where people are fighting and then they'll be peaceful for maybe like 5-10 years and then somehow they start fighting again. So the demigods and the demons are like that in the interplanetary war. And at one point when they went to Lord Vishnu, he said, declare a truce, told the demigods declare a truce, and churn Mount Mandara in the milk ocean to produce nectar. So that's what happened. Of course, the mountain was resting on Kurma. On the top was Lord Vishnu. Vishnu's there with the demigods pulling all these wondrous beings come out of the milk ocean. Dhanvantari comes out with the nectar. The demons immediately take the nectar. And then the Lord shows up as Mohini. And the demons who don't worship Vishnu and don't like Vishnu, when he comes as a beautiful woman, then they like him. And then they're completely bewildered by him, him. Right? And she tells them, don't trust me, and they trust her anyway. And she takes the nectar and gives it all to the demigods. And especially when Rahu tries to hide between the sun and the moon, she takes out her chakra and cuts off Rahu's head, at which point then she's revealed as Vishnu, and then there's a war. So in this war that goes on, the Lord is also there fighting, and he kills Kalanimi. Now Kalanimi, by the way, was the son of, anyone know who Kalanimi's father was? Anybody know Kalanimi's father? Hiranyakashipu. So Narada Muni tells Kamsa, you were Kalanima, you were killed by Vishnu, and Vishnu's going to come kill you in this birth as well. So at that point, Kamsa decides to arrest Vasudeva and Devaki. He no longer trusts that Vasudev's going to bring him all of his children. So he wants to keep them in jail so Kamsa can make sure he kills all the children. So he sends Vasudeva and Devaki to jail. And then every year, Devaki gives birth to a child. Now you might ask, why do Vasudeva and Devaki have children if they know Kamsa is going to kill them? But they also know that the 8th child is going to kill Kamsa, and to facilitate the appearance of the Lord, they're having these children, and Kamsa kills 6 of their sons. Now, this is a very interesting service that they're doing for the Lord. It's a very interesting service that they're doing for the Lord. How many of us would want to do this type of service for Krishna? Become the parents of the Lord, and the Lord will be your 8th child. But first, you're going to be in prison. Now, they were royalty, but you're going to be in prison. And as soon as you give birth to your children, your first 6 children, they're going to be murdered right in front of your eyes. This is the level of surrender of the great devotees. You know, most of us think, well, I want to become a devotee of the Lord, and then I'll have good health, and I'll have a lot of money, and I'll have a beautiful place to live, and I'll have an attractive, loving life partner, and a successful job, and respect in society. In fact, there are many people, especially we find there's a whole branch of Christianity nowadays that says the way you can tell if you've pleased the Lord is if you're very rich. That's the sign that God is pleased with you. But it doesn't always work like that. The devotee is willing to do anything. Of course, we shouldn't understand that Vasudeva and Devaki were suffering like materialistic people were suffering, because they were in the mood of ecstasy of service. They're experiencing a variety of rasa, a variety of taste in the service of the Lord. They're actually feeling varieties of ecstasy in service. So although apparently externally they're really taking this incredible situation of austerity and difficulty to please the Lord, their personal experience is not like that. Now also we're told that something else is going on metaphorically. These 6 children that Kalanimi kills are actually those jivas, those souls, were his children in their last life. They did austerities to please Lord Brahma without the permission of their grandfather, Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyakashipu cursed them to be killed by their own father. So there's this whole backstory kind of going on here. Now they end up becoming purified by becoming children of Devaki, and later after Kamsa is killed, Devaki asks Krishna and Balaram if they can bring these 6 boys back to life. They come back to life as little babies, and they become purified by the association of Krishna and Devaki. But these 6 sons were also, before they were Kalanimi's children, they were sons of Marichi, and they laughed at the difficulty of Lord Brahma with his daughter Vak. Because of that contempt that they had, they became sons of demons, and because of being cursed then, they became the children of Devaki. So it's a very complicated backstory going on here. And they metaphorically represent lust, anger, greed, illusion, envy, and madness. Before Krishna can manifest in our life, we have to be free of these anarthas. And our acharyas tell us the Devaki sphere of Kamsa, who represents material association, was the cause of her being able to be free of lust, anger, greed, illusion, envy, and madness. So again, there's what's going on superficially and then what's going on at a deeper level. So after these 6 sons are killed, then Lord Balaram, Seshanag, enters Devaki's womb. Now Balaram is Guru. Prabhupada says Guru is not a particular person. Guru is a principle. Guru is a truth. Actually, any jiva who acts as Guru is representing the Lord, and particularly the Lord in his form as Balaram. So Guru prepares us when we work on getting free of our anartas, when we have hesitancy, we have some fear about material contamination, and we do our best to try to become detached from these anartas, then Guru is able to purify our heart and prepare our heart for the appearance of the Lord. So Balaram enters the womb of Devaki, and then he's transferred to the womb of Rohini, at which point Kamsa and others understood that Devaki had had a miscarriage, but they counted that as her 7th child. So Rohini is another wife of Vasudev, and she and all of Vasudev's wives except for Devaki were in Vrindavan under the protection of Nanda, who's the cousin, I believe, of Vasudev, so that they would be protected from Kamsa. Meanwhile, under the instructions of Krishna, Yogamaya enters the womb of Nandamara's wife, Yasoda. Then Krishna appears in the mind of Vasudev and enters the mind of Devaki, and from her mind enters into her womb. The demigods then understand that the Supreme Lord has entered Devaki's womb in order to fulfill his promise to restore order in the world. And so they come and they offer prayers to Devaki. So there's many, many wonderful prayers by the demigods to Devaki. We're going to just focus on one of their prayers. So this prayer that's said by the demigods, this is in 10th canto, chapter 2, almost identical prayer is said by Lord Brahma in the 14th chapter of the 10th canto, after he sees the cowherd boys and the calves manifest as Vishnu. So they say that this material world is like a great ocean. So I assume you've all seen the ocean? One of the oceans? Who's seen one of the oceans? It's only like a 3-4 hour drive to the Atlantic from here. Very big ocean. Or if you've seen the Pacific, even a bigger ocean. So if we think about our material attachments, our material miseries, our struggles in this world, it's like this whole, it's vast. We feel like, how am I ever going to get free of my material identification and my material attachments? So the demigods say that the saintly persons, they can cross this ocean of material life in a boat to reach Krishna on the other side. So she mentioned it, Lalita mentioned that her child used our books, our Learn to Read books. So this is actually an illustration from one of our Learn to Read books. Now there's an amazing thing that happens though. The demigods say something very strange happens. Usually when we get in a boat to go from one place to another, the boat goes with us. Am I correct? Yes? We go and the boat also goes. But the demigods say this boat doesn't go anywhere. It still stays on this shore. How is that possible? Now this boat metaphorically is the lotus feet of the Lord. This is Krishna's lotus feet. And even though the saintly persons have taken it across the ocean, it's still here. Now please listen very carefully. The demigods say something magical happens when you just start to walk to the boat. You don't even have to get in the boat. You just have to walk to the boat. And then this whole big ocean something happens. Are you ready? Can everybody count to 3 with me? 1, 2, 3. Woo! The whole ocean becomes a little puddle. When we just approach the boat of Krishna's lotus feet, the whole Atlantic or Pacific Ocean shrinks to a puddle, and you can just walk over it. So the demigods were praying, and the time came for the appearance of the Lord. There was peace and prosperity everywhere, and within the minds of everyone there was good fortune. The rivers were full, and the lakes were decorated with lotus flowers. The birds were singing with sweet voices. The wind carried the aroma of different flowers. The sensation of bodily touch was very pleasing. And the brahmanas found that their yajnas were undisturbed. Their minds were full of joy because they could hear transcendental vibrations in the sound in the sky proclaiming the appearance of the Lord.
Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu.
Okay, so I think I'm going to do it this way. Can you temporarily turn off these lights, please?
Mumachur munayo deva sumanam si mudanvitah mandam mandam jaladara jaghajur anusakaram nishite tama udbhute jayamane janadhane devakyam devarupinyam vishnuhu sarva guhashayah. Jayamane Janardane Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Sarvaguhashaya Nishite Tamodbhute Jayamane Janardane Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Sarvaguhashaya Avirashidyata Prachayam Sindureva Pushkalaha Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Sarvaguhashaya Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Sarvaguhashaya Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Sarvaguhashaya Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Sarvaguhashaya Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Devakyam Devarupinyam Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Sarvaguhashaya Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu
You can turn the light. And Krishna appeared with 4 arms, fully decorated within Kamsa's prison. A full head of hair, jewels, clothing. And immediately Vasudeva and Devaki could understand that Lord Vishnu had appeared. And they offered him wonderful prayers. And then Devaki said, "Now you can come and kill Kamsa." Is that what she said? That's not what she said. She said, "You know, Kamsa may find out you've been born and he might kill you." It's extraordinary, isn't it? Here Vasudeva and Devaki are in prison. Their children have been killed. They know the 8th child's going to kill Kamsa. Here he appears. It's obvious he's Vishnu. And they don't say, "Great! Now you're here. You can take care of everything." Their mood was, "How can we take care of you?" Now, actually, Vasudeva and Devaki performed so many austerities to become the parents of Krishna. And they were waiting so many years for Krishna to appear. Just like we are doing some austerities and we are chanting and we are asking Krishna, "Please come, please come, please come." And then he comes, and when Krishna came, what did he say? He said, "Take me to Gokula. Take me across the river Yamuna. Exchange me with the daughter born to Yasoda." And he made himself look like an ordinary baby. So practically, as soon as Vasudeva and Devaki had got Krishna again, he left. And put Devaki into separation. They saw the chains had fallen from them, the guards had fallen asleep. And Devaki understood that her husband must take Krishna. But I'm sure she was wondering, will I ever see him again? Do I just get to see him for a few minutes? It was the rainy season. It was thundering. It was a great storm. While Devaki was left crying in the prison, Vasudeva took little Krishna out. Anantasesha came like an umbrella to shelter him from the storm. And as he came to the Yamuna, which was high with waves, the Yamuna separated and let him pass. He gets to the house of Nanda Maharaj, his cousin, his dear friend, and he sneaks into the house, and there he sees that Mother Yasoda is sleeping next to her newborn daughter. And so, on the order of the Lord, he exchanges the babies. Now this, from a material perspective, is also quite astonishing. First of all, Vasudeva is breaking his promise to Kamsa to give him his children. Second of all, he's putting the daughter of his dear friend and relative in danger. Yes, and he's using some subterfuge here. But he's doing all this on the order of Krishna and to serve Krishna's ultimate purpose. So he takes the baby girl, he takes her back across the Yamuna, back into the prison, and then once he's back in the cell, the guards wake up, the doors close, shackles go back on, and the baby cries. Then the guards tell Kamsa, the baby's been born. And Kamsa says, oh, the death of my life has been born. And he goes into the prison cell to see Vasudeva and Devaki. And he snatches the baby out of Devaki's hands. And Devaki says, but it's my 8th son who will kill you. And this is a daughter. You're not in danger from this child. And I promise you, this daughter will marry your son when they grow up. Prabhupada said that as a Kshatriya, Devaki also knew negotiation and diplomacy. But Kamsa didn't care, and he took the child and went to smash it against the wall. But she appears as Durga. And again, Kamsa is called a fool. She says, you fool, the child that will kill you has already been born somewhere else. Don't be so cruel to your dear sister. Kamsa then becomes very apologetic, very briefly. Evil people can apologize briefly, and then they go and do the same thing all over again. So evil people can be nice. It's actually called a cycle of abuse. They can be really sweet and really nice, and then they're evil again. And then they're really sweet and really nice, and then they're evil again. So Kamsa was like, oh, I'm so sorry. You shouldn't have killed your babies. He says, I acted just like a demon. He said, even now, even the demigods must speak lies, speaking from the sky. But of course, then Kamsa went to talk to his friends, and they convinced him that he should go on a killing baby spree, but that's another part of the story. Meanwhile, let's go across, let's leave Vasudeva and Devaki. Kamsa does release them from prison at this point. He doesn't imprison them again until quite some years later. So he does release them from prison, and then he goes on his rampage. But let's now go across the Yamuna to where Krishna is in Vrindavan. There was a great celebration. Nanda and Yasoda had their baby boy. It was a great festival for Krishna's appearance. And Krishna grew up in Vrindavan, giving pleasure to all the inhabitants there.
Hey Govinda, hey Gopala,
Hey Govinda,
hey Gopala,
Hey Govinda,
hey Gopala,
Hey Govinda,
hey
course, we know that he does go back to Mathura later and kill Kamsa and then gradually kill the demoniac rulers and establish the Pandavas as the leaders of the world. Because he does promise.
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्मसंस्थापनार्थाय सम्भवामि युगे युगे.
So I hope you've enjoyed this meditation on Krishna's appearance. And I think now we're going to continue with the festival. Anything bad in this presentation is my responsibility, and I hope you can put it aside. Anything good in this presentation is from Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas and the Shastra. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Krishna Janmashtami ki jai. Thank you very much to everyone who set up this.
So I want to hear from you. How was the presentation? That's it? So they're still in the presentation. They have not come out. Yeah. So each and every word Mataji spoke was a slide, and the drawings other than the BBT, did you make it? They were fantastic, isn't it? So this was such a memorable presentation on Krishna, and we can't thank you enough. So let's say 3 times Hari Bol from our hearts. Thank you so much. So we'll Jai. So we'll continue with our programs. It's Kirtan now for the next half an hour before the Maharati.
That's the good one, right? No, give it to the Brody. That's the best one. Does it matter? It's fine. Does it matter? I think it's fine. Just turn that off. Turn it off. Can I see that? Turn it off. I like smaller ones. That's why. What about yourself? I like these better. I prefer
Haribo,
small.
Haribo.
I don't like big ones.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Samiti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Kinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavani Pachatyane Shatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Bolo Bolo, sing everyone Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare, Radhe 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 Jaya Jashi Radhe, Radhe Jaya Radhe 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 Jaya Jashi Radhe, Radhe 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 Jaya Jashi Radhe, Radhe 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 Jaya Jashi Radhe, Radhe 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 Jaya Jai Radhe 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 Jaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Louder Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaur Premanande Shri Krishna Janmashtami ki Jai. Haribo, 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 Radha Ramana Haribo, Radha Ramana Haribo, 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 Radha Ramana Hari Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama
Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Janmashtami ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Jai
विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्री अभय चरणार विंद डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्री डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन धाम की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। मथुरा धाम की जय। मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय। अयोध्या धाम की जय। द्वारिकापुरी धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। श्री श्री राधा वृंदावननाथ जी की जय। श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई सुदर्शन चक्र की जय। श्री कृष्ण जन्माष्टमी 2025 की। श्री कृष्ण जन्म की। अंध के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की। All glorious to assemble devotees, Hare Krishna. All glorious to assemble devotees, Hare Krishna. All glorious to assemble devotees, Hare Krishna. All glorious to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glorious to Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you everybody for having ecstatic kirtan. I'll announce. So prasadam is being served outside, and we need some help to serve prasadam. And then please stay back for cleanup. We have to give the facility as it is. And tomorrow the Swaminarayan team has their own festival. So please help in cleaning. And there are few cars stuck. When you come when you bring your car out, please don't go in the back side. Come to the front. Please don't go in the back. It is very muddy and the cars are getting stuck. So we have to call a tow truck company to tow few cars. So please honor prasadam and please help in cleaning. Hare Krishna.
नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की। 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 ब्रिज में आनंद भयो जय यशोदा लाल की। ब्रिज में आनंद भयो जय यशोदा लाल की। ब्रिज में आनंद भयो जय यशोदा